connection's been so crazy, it's been hard for me to even get the camera on and get the live up and running. I should have been on an hour ago. Who all we got on? Who's on? About 30 minutes ago, we had two deer come in right at the top of the camera there. A doe and a fawn. Then I had to climb down out of the tree to take an administrative, well, some administrative actions, we'll just say that. We created a nuclear waste dump down over the hill here. Grow a garden, hey, how are ya? Julisio, hey, how are ya? Dip, what's going on? But yeah, it was a little insane this morning. I did start off with my 50mm lens on the camera, and I quickly had to go to the 75 to 300 to get some good shots of the deer coming in. We got that over here. I used to be Army, grow a garden. I have since retired. I've been retired for 2 years. What about you? Yeah, I got out. I'm too old for that. Body hurts too much. So the same doe that was in here on Wednesday with her fawn come in, I don't know, probably 6:45, and they mill around right under the tree I sat in the last time. And then, like I said, my stomach has been killing me. I don't know what it is, but I had to get down and create a nuclear wasteland down over the hill. And then as I was crawling back up the tree, I had another deer come in with another fawn. I am Braxton. We're hunting in Maryland today. We're switching things up. We're doing it a little different. I normally hunt with a recurve or a longbow, but today, oh, yeah, today we're out with the Matthews. And like I said earlier, it's been so crazy this morning. I could not get the phone turned on and get a live started. Had deer under the tree basically since daylight. Wednesday I sat in here from about 3:30 to 7:30 and I saw 16 deer. Hey guys, thanks for jumping on. We've got 122 folks on. Don't forget to smash that like button. Give me the thumbs up. Helps to grow the channel. I'm not sure. Baker, I'm in Maryland, dude. You cooter, how are ya? Hi, yo. I am fishing from a tree stand, man. If you guys enjoy the hunting content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're going to try to go live every day this week from the tree. We'll be live again here this afternoon for an afternoon hunt. I don't know if we're going to sit in the same spot or not. But there are a ton of deer in here. We're basically sitting on a pretty steep ridge top. It drops down real steep on both sides. It's covered in acorns right now. I can't find red oaks or white oaks that are dropping. But whatever oak this is that I'm sitting in, all kinds of acorns, man. Yeah, they're blue jays, man. They're up the ridge on this flat, going absolutely nuts. We're hunting white-tailed deer. We're in here specifically after a big buck. We caught him in here a couple times late season. And about 900 yards from here crossing the road in the rut. I have a feeling he uses this ridge down here to bed on. And I thought maybe there's a chance I could catch him coming in here this morning. But so far, no luck. Yeah, I'll be out all day. I won't be able to go live all day, obviously. I'll run out of battery. We're going to try to hit a good live here this evening. Like I said, Wednesday night was the last time I was out. We had 16 deer come through. So if you guys want to jump on that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, I'll put a message out on my community board to notify everybody when I'm going live this afternoon. We're probably going to sit here till 10. Then I want to jump down. There's a good thicket right on this point that I want to check out. See if they're making rubs in there yet. I have yet to see a buck in Maryland since the opener on the 5th, so we're 10 days in. I have not seen a buck, let alone one in velvet. But as far as those velvet opportunities, that's quickly coming to a close here. J-Hop, I got something for you, buddy. Because I think I've seen you on before. We're also in search for moderators as well, so if anybody's got some experience in that, they want to moderate the craziness of an outdoor YouTube channel, let me know in the comments. Again, guys, it's a pretty standard setup for me. All we're doing is hunting a ridge top. It's got a bunch of oaks on it. We target those food sources early in the season. And just up the ridge here, there's a big, I would call it a feed tree. I sat in that the other night, and all the deer were down here on this ridge, just a little bit over the edge. So I come in here to set up down here a little bit further, and sure enough, all the deer went up underneath that feed tree today, about 70 yards up. I had two does at 54 yards, but I had the 50mm lens on the camera. I'm not real interested in shooting a deer unless, especially a doe, unless I've got a really good camera shot. Like I'm gonna have plenty of opportunities. I'm 26 or 27 feet up in a tree. Go to where you at. What state you hunting in? Man, these blue jays are still going nuts over there. There's gotta be deer up feeding. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's probably picking it up in the when I'm not talking. Yeah, where are they? Baker, I will. I appreciate it. I got about 7 years of saddle experience, approaching 1,500 hours sitting in a saddle. I average somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 hunts a year. I've never had an incident in a saddle. Um, I have dropped the bottom out of a climber once or twice. But yeah, the name of the game is being safe, man. I've already got back problems and all kinds of issues. Eve, I'm in Maryland. Ron, I'm sorry about that, man. You gotta move somewhere where you can hunt. American, I'll shoot a doe, but it's gotta be, I've gotta have a perfect camera opportunity. It's gotta be cinematic. Um, I had a couple at about 54 yards, 52, 54 yards earlier, but I had my 50 millimeter lens on, so I passed. Deer hunter, what's going on? Wow, you can't even get firewood. Yeah, Braxton, but again, that's over 7 years. So when I talk saddle hunting and, I have opinions, it's based off of quite an extensive amount of research and experience. Monday, we got the new Method 3 from Latitude Outdoors. It's got an all-new construction that's quite a bit different than most saddles. It's got a uniform uh, material composition throughout, so there's no pockets that your backside can kind of slouch into, and then cause pressure points on the straps. This thing is unbelievably, incredibly comfortable. My opinion, Method 3 from Latitude is the only saddle. At 54 yards it's not a slam dunk for sure, but it's definitely doable. Um, I shot pretty extensively over the last couple days at 75 yards, 70 yards. We got a gray squirrel coming down the hill here. Last year, this was a super hot ridge during the rut. I mean, super hot. I could basically sit here all day and on command just bang the horns together and have a 2-year-old buck show up. Right about the top of the camera there was a scrape, maybe 10 yards beyond the top of the camera there, in some mountain laurel. Had a beautiful 2-year-old 8-point come down, just locked on a doe. Had some great video opportunities. But the one we're after, man, he's quite a bit bigger. He's probably a 5-year-old deer this year. Last year was a mainframe 8, almost completely symmetrical. Probably in the mid 140s. So if he got any bigger, he's probably mid 160s. I don't hear any just yet. There's a significant bedding area right here to my right. And once this hill drops off, it's all mountain laurel, so they get up at all times during the day. I am. And B, I'm in the new method 3 from Latitude. I spent 5 years, about 11 or 1200 hours in the method 2. And this thing, just based on its design, it's phenomenal. It's night and day how comfortable this thing is. We also do the single stick thing. And I run about a 48-foot rappel line with a Mad Rock. So we just reached the viewer limit at 255. That means I need more subscribers in order to get more viewers on the live. If you guys want to hit that subscribe button, once we get to 500, then I'm unlimited. Yeah, the downside of that method too is that it has that mesh. And that mesh allows your backside to kind of compress into those spots. And then from there, it has a 1-inch strap on that bottom panel, and that just cuts into my legs. I actually had some soft tissue damage from sitting in that saddle so long last year. About 2 inches beyond, like 2 inches below the hip joint. Again, guys, I'm getting messages that we're viewer limit, get more subscribers to get viewers next time you go live. So in order for my lives to grow, hit that subscribe button. Once we get to 250, it's gonna keep people from being able to join. But if everybody on here subscribes, we'll be at 500, and then it's unlimited. We're starting a brand new channel here. We're about 4 weeks into it. My last channel was a partnership. It didn't go so good. And we're starting brand new. What's your email? You never got back to me. It is longbowluminary@gmail.com, Brady. But yeah, if you're serious about Doe Patrol, I'm super down to do it. Kent, I'm not sure they're footsteps. I think realistically what you're hearing is the acorns falling. Like I said earlier, we had a super action-packed day. Brady, I'm in the same spot that I was on Wednesday. I did move down the hill like 75 yards to where those deer were feeding. And sure enough, they were right under a couple of does come up over the hill just at daylight, just after daylight. Right under that feed tree I was setting in. longbowluminary@gmail.com, guys. If you have requests, go ahead and send me an email. Then unfortunately, after those deer moved through, man, I had a whirlwind of gut issues. I had to climb down out of the tree. I scurried down off the ridge a little bit, and I made a nuclear waste site over there. It does sound like there's one bouncing around behind me somewhere. Like 65 yards over there, that ridge just drops off, like super steep. So if they're on that top third, there's a little bench over there that they bed on. And it's early season, I'm trying to stay out of the bedding areas as much as possible. Kind of just set up where they feed, because at 10 o'clock they'll come up here because they're all with fawns, man. Those fawns get hungry. And they gotta feed. That doe doesn't necessarily like coming up here in the daylight, but she's gonna do it. There were 3 of them in here last Wednesday, and it still had full spots. I was editing a video a little bit yesterday, about to get the full thing up. I gotta put some finishing touches on it. But I got some great video with the new camera lenses. It's crazy, man. Sonny, what's going on, dude? I left Pennsylvania at 3:30 this morning. Well, 3:20, 3:22, something like that. Hour and 40-minute drive down here. I was set up in the stand, ready to go by about 5:50. And then at about 20 after 6 is when legal light hits. With a sunrise at about 6:48. Beautiful, beautiful morning to walk in. It was super quiet. No wind. Nothing was moving. But just after sunrise, man, we had covered in deer, just covered deer in here everywhere. Man, we're at the viewer limit. 260 people up on there, bro. Once we hit that viewer limit, it won't let any more people in. I've got to get over 500 subs before I can, really get my full access to live. I can't believe there's 250 people up there that are awake and online this morning. That's awesome. Key and I did 22 and a half years active duty, 25 years, 8 months total in the Army. I retired 2 years ago. Carson's up from Alabama, dude. How's the deer down in Alabama doing? Brady, I don't have any commitments right now other than watching the boy when the wife has to do something at work. She's also an Army girl, so it doesn't matter. Is it in a county you can hunt on Sundays? Or you can hunt your own land on Sundays anyway, right? RM Sam, Lebanon, Pennsylvania, or Lebanon, the country. Yeah, Liberty Youth. I've got to start hunting Liberty and Loch Raven a little bit more. It's a longer drive. That's a good spot for me to hunt evenings. Oh, the bush is talking. RM, hey, Welcome on, man. Glad to have somebody from Lebanon. I appreciate it. I live in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. That's why I asked. Boy, you guys are hyping this up like crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Last year, early season, I had an opportunity to take a shot at a velvet buck with a recurve. Second night of the season. We did that on live, and it was insane. Breezy hello from VA. What did Brady say? Sunday hunt days are posted online. Yeah, I know there's quite a few, especially out western Maryland. K&A, I appreciate it, man. I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. Independence Hunt is the next 4 days for rifle for veterans and qualifying disabled hunters. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really take advantage of the rifle hunting opportunities. Just north of Lancaster. Yeah, you're almost to my neck of the woods. I'm in Lebanon. Andrea, yeah, I had a tough time getting the live up and running. I didn't want to do too much moving here. Just after daylight, I had two does come in right across the top up here. They fed under a tree for a little bit and then made their way back down over the ridge to a bedding area. Then I had some gut issues. I had to get down out of the tree and go take a walk. And then when I come back in, climbing up the tree, I had two more deer just off to my right, trying to sneak down the hill, but they saw me halfway up the tree. RM, I wish we could hunt whenever we want, but I kind of like the setup. Um, I can hunt almost every day from now until February, yeah. Yeah, Jeremy, today I brought the compound because there's a good chance I'm gonna go after this big buck this evening if I don't see him this morning. Um, I I hunt a lot with a recurve and a longbow, and it's weird, but it's not that I'm not fully committed to hunt with a recurve or traditional equipment. It's just that sometimes you have missed opportunities. If I have a giant come in at 32 yards, I may only have that opportunity once this year. I could smoke him at 32, no problem, but not with a recurve. I need to have him in at like 20, 25 yards. And then there's the challenge of these big grizzly deer. They're tough. They're hard to kill with a recurve. We are smashing the viewer limit right now. The way YouTube works for a new channel to go live, they limit you to your subscribers and then a certain amount more. I don't know exactly what that limit is. I was told that I could have all of my subscribers plus 25 people on. Obviously, we're over that because we're getting to like 258, 260. But if you guys all smash that like button and hit the subscribe button, they'll allow more people to come on the live. Once I hit 500 subs, I'll be able to have unlimited people on. Last year I did a 3-hour hunt. Last year I had 160,000 people jump on, which was incredible. Over 2 hours. I'm jealous. Season doesn't start here until October 1st. Are you in Pennsylvania? Jeremy says he was a city boy. Marines. I was in Afghanistan in 08, 09. Thank you for your service, man. RM says we don't use we don't use bows. We only use guns in Lebanon. Yeah, we're crazy over here. Ah, Michigan. Like I said, the vast majority of my hunting is with traditional stuff, recurve, longbow. Got a black hunter that I like to use. And I've got a bear grizzly. But today, because we're kind of hot on the tail of a big buck, man, we brought the compound so we could reach out. Oscar, what's going on? Jeremy, I appreciate it, man. God bless you as well. Shoot that bow. The bear bow, when I bought it, right around $1,150, but with all the additional stuff that's on there, man, by the time I left the shop, it's about $2,200. Ashley, what's going on? Biltong, yeah. Yeah. Jerky, biltong. I love to smoke the jerky. Biltong, biltong, biltong. Say biltong 1,000 times. BB Klima, you're not kidding, man. I've had the opportunity to hang out with some really awesome dudes. But then there are also some tragic issues that happen too. I think when you start getting super successful, and some of the guys around you are not super successful, there's a little bit of jealousy that happens that can cause some challenges in your relationships. BB Klima. $150. Yeah, the V3 is, the V3X is, it's a fantastic bow. I've been running that thing since 2022. I think 2022. I shot 3 deer with it last year and then 4 with traditional equipment. I shot 5 deer the year before that. I think I shot 5 the year before that with it. And then the first year I had it, I bought it mid-season. And I shot 4 with it. But I have shot some really, really good bucks with it. I'm really happy with it. Wearing this thing makes the facial hair itchy, for sure. You guys are awesome. Just added camouflage, I guess. Like I said earlier, I have not seen a velvet buck in Maryland yet. Kind of a bummer. The whole idea this early season hunt to chase those velvet bugs. Last year it was on fire. Everywhere I went I saw a velvet bug. This year not the case. So one of the things for the channel this year that I've kind of committed to is bringing much better video quality. So I went out, I got a Canon EOS. We're doing everything mirrorless this year from the main camera. And we're running a couple different lenses. I'm quickly settling in on a 75 by 300 millimeter lens. It doesn't give me great low light performance because I think it's a 5.8 f at the lowest. But I do have a 50 millimeter lens here that I use for low light, and that's a 1.8 f. And then I was looking at a 100 to 500 or 200 to 500 yesterday. I can pick one of those up used for like $2,200. And I think that goes down to like 1.4 f. No, maybe not. I think the 75 millimeter went down to 1.4 f, but either way, kind of committed to that. Casey, thank you. Yeah, BB Klima, here we got something for you. If you're gonna encourage people to do that, we're gonna make you a moderator. Cause that's what we need. We were sky high there on the viewers. Like, I don't know why they limit the live performance, but YouTube's got its reasons, I guess. But we were hitting that ceiling. Once we had like 250 people on, it wouldn't let anybody else come in. Yeah, Jacob, it's gonna be a warm day. I think 85 for high today. It was about 61 or 62 coming in. But we still had plenty of action here real early. I mean, it died off quick, but plenty of action there. Yeah, I think this is gonna be an early winter, Jeremy, and I think you're right. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the deer shed their velvet right around the first week of September. And usually it lingers on, especially with the smaller deer. A lot of those smaller deer, they'll hold velvet till the third week, but yeah. Camping chair, where are you deer hunting at? Marcy, Darcy, we're getting the early morning ASMR. Yeah, I saw a lot of deer midday during the first week. I took a couple of walks, and they would be out moving around on trails. That's why I'm just gonna sit and hang. Because eventually these does that have fawns, those fawns are gonna get hungry. That doe's gonna have to come up over the hill. I'm not saying I'll shoot a doe this morning. I mean, situation would have to be perfect, but I just pooped upwind. Casey, what state? Vermont, yeah. Hunting is the ultimate ASMR. What if I do this? You guys want some ASMR? We're gonna try something. Again, this is just another opinion of mine, but most hunters downplay the importance of calling in the early season. Of course, they want to hit that grunt too when they see a buck in a rut. I couldn't tell you how many times just random cold call. I do a fawn bleat like that. Have a big old doe just charge right to the base of the tree. Doesn't work all the time. Maybe 1 or 2 times out of 10. But when it does, man, it sure is exciting. You know, and I'm glad you say that, Klima, because, again, hunting traditional archery equipment, we've got to get them in close. So, one of my strategies last year was definitely using the grunt tube a lot. Definitely hitting the horns, man. And they usually come in nice and close. Oscar Brute. I don't understand what that is, but you're my number 3 top fan. I love it. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm sure you probably feel the same way, but it doesn't matter what happens when a deer comes in. The excitement is just, it's unparalleled, man. Even the blue jays quieted down. That's crazy. Yeah, guys, make sure you give me that thumbs up anyway. It's free, so is that subscribe. What we're trying to do is get over 500 subscribers so that YouTube's no longer limiting me. A little earlier in the live, we had about 265 people on. I kept getting a message saying that I've reached my limit. I don't like it. I like to have 700-800 people on at a time. I don't want to have 200 people on it. Not be able to have other people jump on. That's not fair to the ones that want to watch. Alright, let's talk challenges real quick. We are on the 10th day of the season down here in Maryland. This is my 5th hunt. I got completely skunked on 2 of them. I did see deer in the morning before daylight on 1, so I was not really getting skunked. And I saw deer just over the ridge walking out one evening, but I didn't see any deer from the stand those 2 days. Then Saturday, we had a couple of deer come in. They came in directly upwind of me. And Wednesday, we saw 16 right here in this spot. And so far this morning, we saw 4. But what I am noticing is that the red oaks in my area aren't dropping. Yeah, Connor, we're in Maryland. And the white oaks, they have 5 to 10 acorns under a tree. But whatever this oak is here, it's a type of red oak, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure the exact name. Species, I guess, is the better way to say it. So over the weekend, when I was home with the kid, I jumped on Onyx. And I went back through a bunch of the pictures that I have on these spots. And I've identified every one of the spots in this Pretty Boy area where I know these oak trees grow. And I think this afternoon, before I get into an evening sit, I'm going to run around to a couple of those spots and see if they're dropping in there too. They are the only oak trees down here dropping. And guys, that's got to be a strategy. You got to go where the feed's at. The other challenge is some beans are green, some beans are brown. None of the corn is cut yet. So there's still a lot of deer bedding in the beans and bedding in the corn. So until the corn comes down, my immediate strategy is hunt these oaks in places that are a mile or so or more from ag fields. Because I don't notice a big difference in the amount of deer per square mile away from the ag field. Obviously there's more at the ag fields, but still a ton of deer in these spots with no ag. They're just super concentrated where the food's at right now. No, I'm not. I'm gonna guess that the closest cornfield from me right now, I don't know if there's a bean field over there, but the closest cornfield from me right now is straight line distance is probably 1,500 yards away. I mean, it might even be closer to a mile. I mean, it's far. Baby Klima, in keeping with my make it hard and make it painful mentality, I wouldn't do that even if they did allow it. I'm not saying that it's wrong for other people. You can do whatever you guys want. But I already shoot 6 or 7 deer a year. I don't need to make it any easier. But I think more than that, I don't know if it makes it easier. Like I said, I never did it. I'm a highly mobile guy. My favorite part of this is scouting into a place that I haven't been at before, looking for fresh sign, hanging a tree and hunting deer. That's just what I love to do. That idea of going out and prepping a spot and having a big ladder stand there and only hunting that spot just doesn't appeal to me. What if I put that right there? I'm just off 83, exit 31 on 83 in Baltimore County. You know, I got a big old jet boat. I got a 19-foot jet boat that we could go chase some stags around in the swamps if you want. Yeah, man, if you haven't already, sent me that email. We'll link up, dude. We gotta get out and do something. Yeah, buddy. From Turkey. We're glad to have you on, man. Steve, how are you from Florida? JD, did you shoot it or some other guy? Yeah, BB, I usually don't have a lot of problems with my audience. They seem to be pretty good. BDB, hey, hello from Illinois. Jeremy, what 30-30 do you use? The last time I shot a deer with a rifle was 2016. The only reason I did that was because that rifle never shot a deer and it had been sitting in my safe since 2004. But I have a Marlin 30-30. I love that gun. It's got an Ashley Precision cantilever scope mount on there. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate when even if you shoot them good sometimes, guys, it's just the way it is. Um, we can get into this controversy of fixed blade versus mechanical. Um, we could we could test by shooting into ballistics gel, but every single shot with a bow or with a gun, every single shot into a deer is its own individual situation. Sometimes you can double lung a deer with a cut on contact 1 inch broadhead and only get 3 drops of blood one time 50 yards from where you shot it. Yeah, I'm running fixed blades here today. I have Annihilator 125 grain broadheads on. I ran them over the stone last night and stropped them up real nice. They're razor sharp. But on my traditional stuff, I'm running the VPA single bevel left hand twist. Those are 250 grains. Run a 100 grain insert up front, total arrow weight's ridiculous. You don't even want to know. It's 670 grains. But these arrows here on the Matthews, they're kind of heavy too. I think they're like 568 with 125 grains on them. You just gotta do what you like. Yeah. Baby Klima, that's a pretty stellar record. Um, Most of the big studies, there was one that was done at an army base not too far from here, where the recovery rate for mechanicals was around 91.8, 92%. And the recovery rate for fixed blade was quite a bit lower, like 83 or 84%. Don't quote me on that, but it's significantly different. And that was out of like 13 or 1400 deer shot. Marcy, thanks for the sub. Yeah, if you guys are talking product recommendations, I'm a huge fan of the Grim Reapers as well. I also like the G5 Mega Meats. The reason I like the Grim Reapers so much is you can get them in a 125. Some places won't even make that. And Grim Reaper, I think they make 85 or 80s, hundreds, 125s. Some places they won't make anything but a 100 grain broadhead. Brady, the only problem I have with Beast is who makes them. I try to stay away from controversy, right? So I'll keep my opinions to myself. But I'm just looking at their other businesses and some of the other challenges that they have. If you are going to have a supplier that provides you with protein mix that you sell to your customers, but yet you never pay your suppliers, I have a problem with that. They're mixed up in multiple lawsuits. I'd rather buy an NAP or a Sever broadhead. Any broadhead but a Beast broadhead. They may be the awesomest broadhead, but I'm not giving them my money. Just my opinion. I can't sit here and say I'm going to uphold the most ethical standard in the woods and then support somebody who's been tied up in controversy and then paid restitution for a plea deal. And I've separated myself from friends who always want to bounce around on that thin line of what's ethical and not ethical in the woods. I mean, I just don't play that game. I don't play it. Alright, we are reaching the viewer limit again. Get more subscribers so your viewers can join. We need more subscribers. Yeah, Jeremy, that's where I'm at, man. Pennsylvania's a good example. With the CWD, you're no longer allowed to use attractants. If I'm out hunting with a guy, he busts that stuff out. Like, I'm gone. 2 reasons. I don't want to get hemmed up in it. And if I'm going to run a channel, right, I don't ever want to be involved in that. I don't want anybody to ever come and say, oh, wow, that guy, he didn't do something right. I think as sportsmen, if we're going to be, or have the ability to influence people online, like, I'm a small guy, right? But I got 200 people right now jumping on, watching, listening to what I say. I feel like I should be doing everything by the books and as ethically as possible. And I think if we look at numbers overall, yeah, Marcy, that's like, you guys are hitting me in the feels right now, but I like it. Yeah, guys. So that's what you get, man, from the longbow luminary. That's what you get, the highest standard of integrity. And the moral compass here, we're not going to take risky shots on deer. We're not going to do any of that stuff. You know, bad things are going to happen on their own, but Chase, I'm down in Maryland. I think I'm still in Baltimore here, but I'm just north of Hartford. I'm off exit 31 on 83. And that's close enough. Last year I shot a monster 12-pointer last year. I posted the video. And the first day there was 20 guys in there hunting deer in that spot this year, just based off the video that I posted to the Maryland public hunting site on Facebook. If you guys ever want to go back and check out some stuff from last year on the old channel, that channel's Pain Train Outdoors. It's basically it's going to be a dead channel. It's just going to disappear, but about 11,000 subscribers out there. It's unfortunate the way it played out, but all I can do now is move on from it, try to rebuild. But I'll tell you what, the support we got from you guys this morning is incredible. I couldn't ask for a better bunch of guys to hang out with in the woods. And gals, Marcy. I said gals. Real steel, where at? Oh, dude, I would love to hunt New Mexico. Edmere, I don't know where that's at. Marcy, I don't think it's impossible to be ethical, but I think a lot of people are going to give you some shit. I'm alright with that. I'm just doing me. I'm the guy that has to wake up in the mirror and look at myself. I'm the guy that has to know that if last shooting light was 7:04 and I could still see that deer at 7:08 in the field and I took a shot at it, I'm the guy that has to live with that, so that's why I don't do it. Monday morning ASMR from the tree. What time is it? Oh, almost 9 o'clock. Chase, all my arrows are carbon. I haven't gotten into the wood. I would break arrows left and right. Today I'm actually not using a traditional bow today. I brought the Matthews. Oh, okay, yeah. My buddy keeps telling me to go to Rock State Park. He's got a trail camera over there with bucks on it all the time. Maybe we'll go over there. Yeah, Marcy, when you look at it like that, maybe you're right. Maybe it is impossible to be completely ethical. But that's why I made the statement about the beast broadheads. If I know and I can do anything about it, I will spend my money somewhere else instead of on something that's not good. But you're right, even the gas I use to get down here somehow supports war somewhere. Minnesota, Paul, nice to have you on. It is archery. It's archery only where I'm at. BB Klima, that's another great point, because, again, I'm out here. I could have shot one of those does earlier today before I had the live on, but I didn't have the right lens on the camera. What I'm trying to do is make it cinematic, tell a story, be able to bring that to people, share it with folks who enjoy it. So if I can't make that, if I can't tell that story or show that story, I don't know how many deer that I see while I'm on the ground, don't have a camera out, don't have a camera arm up. And it's just like, well, I'm not shooting it because I can't get it on film. It happens a lot. But then when you get into, a guy who shoots a big buck over a bait pile in Pennsylvania where he's not supposed to, how do you can't film it. You can't show it to anybody. It's like you gotta keep that to yourself. So why is it like, I don't know how that's fun. I don't know how that's enjoyable. And then knowing you didn't do it the right way, it's just blows my mind. And we're at the viewer limit again. Why? Why do I have a viewer limit? 12 days until West Virginia. I I hunted in Virginia a couple years ago because my brother lives down there. I'm telling you, hunted in and around the George Washington National Forest. Bro, that's hunting right there. Yeah, I second that, BB Klima. Any day in the woods is better than a day at work. There's a little bench down here, just off to my right. It's maybe 80 yards. I can barely see it. It's covered in mountain laurel. And man, I really want to, like this afternoon, I want to try to go in there and see what it looks like, but I'm sure I'm gonna bust those deer that come in this morning out of there. That's another thing we do here on the Longbow Luminary, dude. We take risks. We go after it. Like if we think there's a buck in there, and we think we can get in there and pull it off, we're gonna go after it. We're not gonna sit on our heels. Hey Jeremy, I appreciate it, dude. If you're taking off, hopefully we'll see you later on. Penguin, what's going on? Real, I love the G5 Mega Meats. I shot 126 inch, 215, 220 pound whitetail in 2022. Last day of bow season. Well, second to the last day of bow season. Shot him with about 2 minutes of legal light left. And barely make out his form, 26 yards. Shot him right through the shoulder. That G5 Mega Meat split that thing in half. Buried that arrow about 10 inches inside of its lungs. And when he ran, he just snapped the tip of that arrow off inside of him. Ground everything up inside that chest cavity like ground beef. Deer went 50 yards. Dude, 7mm PRC. That's an awesome caliber. Mega meats. They are cheat mode. I'm telling you, they're they're the number one mechanical broadhead right now in the country, according to everybody's info. I'd love to know all the sales data. And I know Sever and Grim Reaper are up there. That Sever broadhead is pretty sick. Back Mountain, hey, thanks for jumping on, dude. We were hitting it hot and heavy early. I couldn't even get the phone fired up and alive going. I had too many deer under the tree all over the place this morning. But no bucks, man. No bucks. I've not seen a buck in Maryland since the season opener. I'm down by Pretty Boy. I may or may not be on Pretty Boy, but I'm close. And I'm on public, so you can figure that out, I'm sure. Yeah, it's Baltimore County. Yeah, we saw 4 total today. I think you were on the live Wednesday. We saw a total of 16 in here on Wednesday from 3 to close. Yeah, it was pretty lit. I was working on the video a little bit Saturday and a little bit yesterday. Trying to figure out a format where I can use like some of the stuff from the live and then incorporate the video that I took. I'm just so impressed of how this camera puts my old camera to shame. I was running that Sony Handycam. What is it? It's a Sony AX53. And that's a good camera. I mean, it's a good camera. Like, in full daylight, like right now. Oh yeah, I gotta drink some water. In full daylight, that camera works really well. But any of the low light, man, it just does not perform. This new Canon, with the 2 lenses I got, it's phenomenal. And then with the 300mm zoom, like I actually, when I was talking about the doe with the 2 fawns, one of the fawns went over there, was kind of nosing her, like they're banging their nose together and like, whatever. And the other fawn come over and like jumped on the doe's back with its front feet. And then that doe just turned around and kicked the snot out of that doe, or out of the fawn that jumped on her. And I have it all on video. It's pretty awesome stuff. But you'd never get it in focus with the AX53. Drizzy, what's going on? How are you? Do you want an AX53? I was I was talking with Bill last year. I was gonna sell it to Bill last year, but none of those guys talk to me anymore. Imagine that. They all wanted me to lose my eyebrows, man. They wanted me to shave my eyebrows. They're like, you gotta shoot 4 deer with the trad bow, so you don't, like whatever bet they came up with. And when I shot the 4th deer, I thought that was like the nail in the coffin, man. Oh well. Yeah, Flack, we had 2 does come in early. Then I had to climb down out of the tree. I made a pile of nuclear waste down off the ridge, and then when I was climbing back up, I had 2 more does come in. I've never hunted here in the morning. It's kind of it's a hike, and there's no trails. Like I gotta cut straight through the forest, climb a ridge, and burn down the center of this thing. Get to this point. It's about a mile. Um, the last Wednesday we hunted the evening in here. We saw 16. So yeah, I know. Cameras. I'm thinking about spending $2,200 on a used lens for this camera. You're going to be able to count the ticks on the back of that deer's ear. You wait, I'm going to get a couple more good videos here, then I'm going to do like a full handycam versus a mirrorless with lenses. And the difference is going to be striking. I think a lot of the YouTube content creators in the outdoor space, in the hunting space, I think they gatekeep how they get their video quality so good. And I think if I release that info now that I figured it out, maybe they'll hate me for it. I don't care, I'm just doing me. Hunting season ended in Utah. Was it like an early velvet hunt or something? Willy-nilly, what happened to Pain Train? Bro, it just went south. And, partner didn't want to have a partnership anymore. So, I got locked out of the channel. Gotta start over. So hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like willy-nilly. Oh, hey, by the way, we're gonna do this. Yeah. Why are my ears covered? Because they're ugly. No, this is a scent-lock hat. I don't know if I believe in it quite as much as I used to, but when I bought it, um, supposedly have activated carbon in it, and that reduces the amount of scent that you're putting off. having ears covered when you're trying to listen for stuff. Especially because I don't hear real good. Getting too old for that hearing stuff. I mean, it's raining. It is raining acorns. Back mountain, I brought the compound in today. Because this week is probably my last week to hunt any of these early season like patterns that they have. And there won't be a lot of chance after that because it'll just get stupid. Then it becomes more of a luck game where you run into them. I don't know if I ever shared pictures of that, like a mid 140s perfect symmetrical 8-point last year. I think he beds down here on this point, and I thought I was going to catch him coming out of this feeding area, or maybe cruising this ridge before he went back to sleep today, but it didn't work out. And I didn't want to miss an opportunity at like a 40-yard shot, not being able to take it with the recurve or the longbow. And I could have smoked. I could have smoked either one of those does earlier, but TJ, what's up? Willie, that's one of the challenges with why things didn't work out. Like, I had to spend a couple of months with my son. We bought a boat. Him and I spent most of the year at the lake this year. And he's doing much better because of it. So, yeah. When it comes time to sacrifice family for YouTube, I wasn't doing it. Wasn't doing it. And I wasn't about to have somebody telling me what I should be doing every day. In March and April, I had shit to do. I had projects at the house to do. I had a kid to take care of. That stuff comes first, my man. But we're back. And by the looks of things, we're hitting the ball out of the park with the new channel, so really appreciate all the support. If you guys haven't done it so far, go ahead and hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because eventually I'm climbing down out of this tree. We're going to go scout out another part. There's a big cornfield over on Tracy Store Road. I shouldn't say that now. Everybody's going to go hunt there. I want to sneak into the back side of that for two reasons. There's a big old bear with two cubs running around in there that I would love to get some video of. And I want to see if the acorns are dropping over there. And if they are, we'll set up an evening hunt. Try to smoke a big buck over there. It might be all just buck hunting for me till we get through the rut. Last year I didn't really start shooting does till late season, and I had a blast in late season. Brady, I'm not much of a turkey hunter. I'm opportunistic. I'll shoot one with the bow in the fall if the situation presents itself. Golden Prods, what's up, man? Yeah, I only saw a 4-piece. that's how you say it. Been kind of a slow morning. That's alright. That means it'll be fire this afternoon. Never fails, dude. When you think it gets quiet, now I got this blue jay right down in front of me, right in the middle of his bedding area, just going nuts. So I know there's a doe up, pecking at acorns, walking around with her fawns. It's probably too thick to see, though. Can you guys hear him? Marcy, then we're in the same boat. And it's crazy because he's so outgoing at home, so willing to interact with people at the house, but then when he get out in public, it was like a light switch, it just turned off. And now, getting him out on the lake, around a bunch of kids, doing fun stuff, staying out overnight on the boat, letting him walk to the pizza shop at the marina, letting him go fishing with his buddies, and just allowing him to start and enjoy his own free time and his own space has completely opened him up. He's like a different person. I feel like I have my son back. I felt like I lost him for about 8 months. It's brutal. Alright, TJ. I don't have any plans on going to the Bloomsburg Fair. What day is it? I was just at Hinklefest yesterday and the day before with the kiddo. What day is it? it's I think we're doing a lake weekend, probably the last lake weekend of the year here. Leaving Friday evening to go up. That's if we go. I don't know. It's going to depend on weather. But the lake water's getting cold, man. With that temperature down in the 50s at night, that water cools off real quick. I originally planned on staying here all day, but I think what I'm gonna do. Yeah, they're falling like crazy. Glassernick, hey, thanks for dropping by from Poland, man. I really appreciate it. I think what I'm gonna do, cut the live off, and then I'm gonna go over along that ag field edge. I'm gonna get down in that creek bottom and see if there's some acorns falling in there, and try to get set up for a good evening hunt. I gotta find a spot though, and that's a long walk. It's gonna take me a couple hours to get set up. Um, It'd be a little bit of a drive to get over there too. It's either that or go to Rock State Park, man. My buddy wants me to go up there. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's the plan. Maybe give this another 10 or 15 minutes. And then plan on doing that. I know most of you think I'm crazy for this, but the reason I just checked the wind is I have a faint smell of deer back here on this edge. Like it drops off real quick, and there's a bench down there that they bed on. And again, they just cross all back and forth across this top feeding in the evening. But the sun is hitting that bench over there right now, and the thermals are bringing the warmer air up to me, and I caught the faintest scent of deer. already know there's deer bedded over there because I watched them cross and go over. Death Creek. Yeah, it's all public land. I don't have too much I haven't hunted private in years. But it's crazy how, like, if you're really paying attention, you can even smell them from 100 yards away. Acorns, I mean, they're just falling everywhere. And I know, like I said, I think people probably think I'm nuts because I know a lot of hunters that say they've never smelled them or can't smell them. But I mean, it's all right. Yeah, we're gonna shut it down here in a little bit anyway, Death. Yeah, Marcy, that's really unfortunate. Mine's more the autism scale, autism spectrum. Yeah, it's crazy to me that people say you can't, but anymore, now that I trust it, it's like 50% of the deer I see, I smell them first. I don't hear them. I don't see them first. I smell them first. And then I start looking around with the binos. I'm like, oh, there it is. It's crazy. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get down out of this tree. Well, maybe not. We got a blue jay going nuts. All right, well, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to get out of this tree. I'm going to get to the other side of the reservoir. And I'm going to get into that one little corner I like so much. I haven't been in there yet this year. We're going to check it out. If it's hot, we'll sit it for tonight. And then we'll be back on. But, yeah, Marcy, we'll continue this conversation at a later date. Willie, thanks for jumping on and thanks for finding me, man. It's been too long. I need more of those OGs from Pain Train. And everybody else that's out there, man. Have an awesome day today. We'll see you in a little bit.